everyone, and welcome to True to Reason TV. I am Derek. Look, I want to take this moment and thank you for those of you that support my YouTube channel. You don't know how much that means to me. Also, y'all, want to make this announcement. I now have the True to Reason podcast that you can go over and check out each and every Wednesday. I'm putting up content, relevant content each and every Wednesday for your enjoyment. And look, it is great for you to listen to it on your morning commute, your evening commute, however you want to do it. But check out True to Reason podcast. That's my True to Reason podcast. And I believe that you'll find something there that will be a blessing to you. Look, on today, y'all, I want to get right into this. I want to talk about something that is critical, that is pressing, and that has been pressing for quite some time. And today I want to talk about family crisis, and that's what I want to call today's message. I want to call it family crisis. And the reality is, y'all, is that the family has been under attack. The family has the family has been under attack for quite some time. And let me just say this, the campaign against the family has been very successful. And I also want to say this, you got to understand that whatever God institute, whatever God inaugurates, whatever he establishes, join together, whatever that is, Satan will always want to destroy it. He would either want to steal it, he'll want to kill it, or he wants to destroy it. As long as the earth remains, that will never change. He always wants to tear down what God institute, what God brings together. And so the family, y'all, has been under attack for years. And now we're seeing the manifestation of the fruit of the fall of the family. And we're not talking about, I want to make sure that I make it clear that the family has really failed. And so I want to point some things out on today that will I want to give you specifically 4 things that the fall of the family is now manifesting within society. Because again, that's the primary entity that is under attack. I'm going to say this. It's funny because when Black Lives Matter, when you think about Black Lives Matter, I'm talking about the national chapter. I'm not talking so much about the local chapters, because the local chapters are the ones, these will be the men and women that will be in the community, in the trenches, trying to address the crisis and trying to address the things that plague the community, particularly the Black community. And so your local chapters are the ones that are on the ground, in the trenches, getting the work done. But the national chapter of Black Lives Matter, many people don't know this, and I was astonished to know that a lot of people didn't know that Black Lives Matter, the national chapter, really is, and I believe still is, a vehicle that was used to attack and dismantle the family. In fact, it was on their very own website. But when they started to receive a lot of pushback, and when people started to address it and talk about it, they removed it from the website. They took it down. But from the offset, a lot of people wouldn't even go to the website and read what Black Lives Matter was really about. But this was a vehicle that its primary intentions, well, they had a number of goals, but one of them was to break down the family, completely restructure the family, not in a way that's consistent with the way God would have it, but in a way that would be conducive to worldliness. All right. And so I'm astonished that a lot of people didn't even know that. And this is why even today there is discord between local BLM chapters versus the national. And the local chapters now are asking, hey, where's the money? Where's the money that's due us? And where's the money we deserve, so that we can put that money back into the Black community and address some of the issues and concerns that are plaguing our communities. And so we see this discord playing out. But again, the national chapter, that's a totally different beast, y'all. That's a totally different agenda. And that agenda has been to attack the family. So we are experiencing a family crisis. And now I want to give to you real briefly 4 things that the downfall of the family is manifesting and has done. Number 1, the first thing is the breakdown of the family has disintegrated our unity. See, today, y'all, if you think about it, and unity is what we learn within the context of family. It is it's within the context of family that we learn how to live, we learn how to get along, we learn how to do relationship with one another. All those things are taught within the institution of the family. And so it's important that we point out the very first institution for human instruction is the family. Long before there is kindergarten, long before there's elementary school, long before there's middle school, the very first institution of human instruction, God intended it to be the family. And more importantly, this is why the first 5 years, right, of a child's life is so critical, because it's during that time that the family has the clearance, the wherewithal to build within the child morally, mentally, the whole 9 yards, spiritually, what could be a part of that child's life from now on. But when that first 5 years, and science know this, that first 5 years is abdicated and we shun that responsibility, oh man, we're in for a treat. But look, the first thing, again, what it has done, the breakdown of the family, y'all, has really disintegrated our unity. There's no longer any collective. It's like everybody is just out for themselves. Everybody is out for the individual. Everybody wants to do their own thing, and there's no longer any collective. And see, we learned that within the family. I remember growing up, and I grew up, y'all, I grew up in a single parent context. My mother had the responsibility of trying to raise 2 boys. And even in that time, there were a lot of people that grew up in single parent context. But the family was still, back in those days, the family still was the single unit that, even for those of us who may not have had both parents in the house, other families took it upon themselves and saw it as a responsibility to even pour into those of us that didn't have a father in the house, or did not have a mother in the house. So other families took upon themselves the responsibility of raising a community. And that's where we get the whole mantra from. It takes a community to raise, or it takes a village, right, to raise a child. And that's really what it was like. But that was that unity that we had. Everybody, there was a collective. We cared about each other. We had the same, values. We had the same concerns. We wanted to see the same things manifest within our community. We wanted our communities to be healthy. But because unity has been disintegrated, it's like that's a lost cause. And this is a family crisis. This is what we're dealing with. And it's because of this attack that is up on the family. The second thing that the downfall of the family has done is it has decimated decency and respect. I remember, y'all, and y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. Particularly if you're a 78 model on back. I'm a 74 model, right? If you're a 78 model on back, then you know what I'm talking about. But y'all, I can remember there were certain things that, like in terms of our elders, in terms of how we carried ourselves with decency and respect, the way we dressed, the way we presented ourselves. Man, whatever happened to dress for success Tuesdays, right? When you would come to school with your tie on and you have your slacks on and your dress shoes. What that was teaching us, it was teaching us to carry ourselves with decency. It was teaching us that how you present yourself within society, how you carry yourself within society, that matters, y'all. It has an impact upon how people will look at you, how people will receive you. And that's what we went through. That's what we were taught. So we had decency, but we also had respect.
we respected our elders. You know, when grown folk were talking, right? We didn't get in on that conversation. When grown folk were talking, we excused ourselves, and that taught us mannerisms. That taught us how we are to conduct ourselves. But today, as it is, decency and respect, it's null and void. It has been decimated. And so this is some of the problems that we're seeing in school, where you're seeing young people, very young people, who talk back they talk back to the teachers. Teachers, if the teacher says something to them, they get smart with the teacher. If the teacher says, "I'm gonna call your parent," they said, "I don't care, call them." What happened to the decency and the respect for authority and the respect for our elders and the respect for adults? It's been nullified. And all of this is a direct result of the attack on the family. And now we're experiencing and we're seeing these things happening, and we're asking certain questions, and we're saying, man, what's really going on? What's wrong with this young generation, right? And it's not just the young generation either, but this is what we're seeing. The third thing the fall of the family has done is it has annihilated our moral conviction. It seems like people are just moving today, and there's no moral conviction whatsoever for right and wrong. There seems to not even be a moral compass for right and wrong. And how did we get here? It's because the family has failed. The family has been under attack. And now it's just, I mean, when you have, it's like growing up in a two-parent home, right? And if you're growing up in a two-parent home, we understand that the father has a role, and we understand that the mother has a role. But of course, society will have you to believe now that you can simply define family however you want to define family. But that's not consistent or harmonious with biblical teaching. And because the family has been broken down, and the campaign against the family has been very successful, it has really, the moral conviction of people that we see today is just, it's unprecedented. In fact, I believe it's probably one of the reasons Jesus said, "Will he even find faith when the Son of Man return?" I believe that's another reason why he said, "As it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, so shall it be when the Son of Man return." What was he talking about? He was referring to a time of moral depravity, where everybody will do what's right in their own eyes. There will be no moral conviction, there will be no collective, and every person will be a lover of himself, selfish and self centered. The family has been under attack, y'all, for quite some time. And then I'm going to give you the fourth one, and I'm going to close it out right here. Here's the fourth one, and here's the sad one. The breakdown of the family has instigated an attitude of resentment and disgruntledness among people. And let me explain it this way. Let me characterize it this way. I don't have to tell you the single parent ratio within the black community. And not just the black community, but I want to speak specifically to the black community. But it's not just the black community. I'm going to make that clear. But I don't have to tell you the disparity in terms of what we experience. And you see the spirit of resentment and disgruntledness because when a mother has the responsibility to try and rear her children by herself, she also have to deal with the pressures, the concerns, the worries of life. And that is hard. That's very hard to do. And the reason I know is because I grew up in a single parent home. And that's a tough assignment on any person. And we have men that are abdicating their responsibility as fathers. And when men abdicate their responsibility as fathers, and they put, inevitably, this put women in a very precarious situation where they now have to try and carry something by themselves that never was intended for them to carry by themselves. And we don't just have single mothers, right? We got single fathers. We got fathers who have taken on the responsibility of raising the children because the mother is not fit. But it creates this resentment and disgruntleness within our community. And we're walking around and we're angry, we're bitter, we're upset, and it carries, it comes out of our being, where a person can just look at our countenance and tell that we're plagued down, that we're heavy, that we're burdened by something. And I want to submit to you, it's because of a breakdown of the family. And we have got to get back. I don't know the answer, y'all. I don't know the answer to all of this, but I know back in my day, man, there was unity. It was a community effort. There was decency and respect. There was moral conviction. How do we get back to that? And I believe it takes all of us working together toward a common goal, common good for our community. It is the Lord who instituted family. And I take my hat off to those of you, and I respect those of you that are on the front line and you're fighting for the family. It's going to take all of us to fight for the family. That is the first institution of human instruction. And God ordained it to be so. So I hope something was said that blessed you on today, and I want you to think about that as you go throughout the week. Man, this is something that is plaguing all of us. It's something that is costing all of us. And so I wanted to put a little something on your mind on today. I hope that you have a great day, and I hope more importantly that you have a great week. Don't forget to check out the True to Reason podcast. I thank you. I appreciate you for your support. I'm going to keep bringing you practical and relevant content that will help you to navigate through the current of life. Look, love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. Have a blessed week.